Good morning, brothers and sisters all over the world and in America. Welcome to our morning devotion today. And to start our day, let us offer a bow to our heavenly parents and true parents. 천지인 천부모님께 경배. 바로. Thank you. And now I'd like to invite Reverend Melhon for a family pledge.
가정맹세 1. 천혜의 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 번향 땅을 찾아 번연의 창조이상인 지상천국과 천상천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천혜의 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천혜의 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천혜의 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조이상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천혜의 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 전상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천혜의 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 태신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천혜의 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 신정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천혜의 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천혜의 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you, Reverend Melhon. And now for our opening prayer, I'd like to invite Mr. Hans Moyer for our prayer this morning. Please unmute yourself.
Good morning. Please join me in a prayer. Our Heavenly Parent, we thank you for this new day. And Father, as we awake, Heavenly Father, to all the possibilities that this day holds, Father, we want to start with a grateful heart and really appreciate you and our true parents and all the righteous saints and sages of history who have laid foundations for us to fulfill your will at this time. Our true parents have invested so much. I pray that our hearts and minds can be opened, Heavenly Father, this morning through this devotional service, and that, Father, we can find your guidance and your strength, Heavenly Father, to do the things that need to be fulfilled at this time. Father, thank you so much for all your love and care. I pray this in my name, Hans Moyer, from a blessed and central family. Aju.
감사합니다. 한스 모여. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moyer. And now it's time to go into our breakout rooms to share our gratitude. So please enjoy your breakout room for this morning. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for taking this time to start this morning with gratitude because it is the best way to start the day. And for our first sharing this morning, I'd like to invite the Rabotini couple to share their gratitudes with us this morning. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you. All right, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you, Robertani.
Yes. Yeah, I just shared with Diane. I'm grateful to be able to get up each morning and to be able to attend the morning devotion. Because of physical challenges I have, and I'm grateful for that. And that's that I'm able to overcome them and be here and attend. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ronald. I think not easy to wake up early morning every day. That is 정성, consistency. That is 정성. Thank you for your support. Incredible 정성 every morning. Yeah, thank you. And let's go to 지혜코상.
Good morning. I'm so grateful. Yeah, same things. Get up every day, and especially the last night I attended some Japanese meeting, and Keiko partner share how Dr. Yong invest all brothers and sisters each moment. Even meet 5 minutes, she felt like 5 hours or 5 days. Because of the Dr. Yong invest all brothers and sisters praying so hard. So that's why everybody feel that love through Dr. Yong's heavenly parents' love. And they want to invest more and more for God's will. I really appreciate your dedication so much. And yesterday, one sister visited me, and she brought some vegetable that she grown her yard. I really appreciate that. That's so tasty.
I see.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. 지혜코상 and 로날드상 감사합니다.
Thank you so much, Sarotini couple, for your sharing. And for our next sharing, I'd like to invite Mr. Mark, or Reverend Mark, and Mrs. Yuri Hernandez. Please share.
Good morning. Good morning.
Wow, Mark. 안녕하세요. 유리상.
Yeah, I'm here with my favorite person, eternal partner. I was sharing, I was grateful for, especially this, I've been reflecting recently about how this morning devotion it's so beautiful because it's vertical and it's horizontal. It's this vertical, desire to align with God, align with true parents, but also you've created a phenomenon where we are together. We're having this opportunity to share and to be together and just be with amazing brothers and sisters whom we love mutually and respect. And we've been on a path together, many of us on a path for, more than 40 years together. And it's such and also to see and delight in the younger souls on this call. It's just so beautiful. The other thing I was sharing was I was grateful. Two of my grandkids are over since yesterday, and they'll be with us today. And we've had a lot of fun playing in slip and slide and things like that. It's just such a joy to be with them and to have discussions with them and to really impact their lives. Yeah.
Okay, Yuri-san.
Hi. Good morning. I'm very, very lucky. I had a wonderful, my parent very, very sacrifice and really take care of me. And I really realize I'm so lucky. I have a great able right now in this America. And how much my able Dr. Yong really sacrifice and giving to us and taking care of us and every day, so much love. I'm really lucky. Such a, this time I'm still alive with wonderful able Dr. Yong.
How about your husband? And how about your husband? You need to appreciate your husband more than me.
I'm very lucky too. Yes, I'm very grateful. Thank you so much.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you, Hernandez couple. That's amazing. And with that, since we're so grateful for Dr. Yong this morning, please let us go into our internal guidance. So please let us welcome Dr. Chong-Shik Yong.
안녕하세요. Good morning. Good morning, my beloved brothers and sisters, clergy and ambassador for peace. 안녕하십니까? Finally, I came to Atlanta, and our Hikuji-san couple and Francis and then our Levi Dory came to airport and welcomed me. Thank you so much for your beautiful hospitality. Yes. Yesterday, before coming to Atlanta, and in the morning, I had a beautiful meeting with the ACLC leaders, some our women leaders, our Angelica ACLC leaders. We had a very, very beautiful meeting. Thank you for your coming and joining breakfast together with me. 감사합니다. And then later on, before going to airport, we visit to some, having a meal together with the leaders in the morning. And then also we visit to some mega churches. I think seat, more than 10,000 people can gather together over there. And beautiful bishop couple. And we deliver the True Mother's memoir. They are couple really, really having great ministry, take care of the people. So we tour in his, the temple and all the facilities. It was very good. Thank you. Our Bishop Starlings, despite his busy schedule, and came and helped me. And then always our Dr. Jenkins couple is there. Thank you so much, our Dr. Jenkins couples, for your hard work. Of course, my beloved sub-regional leader, Patton, thank you so much. And today, some word from Mother of Peace. The title is A Small Boat on Heavy Seas. I'd like to invite Heavenly Honey to read.
Our first living space was a small, sparsely decorated room at the back of Champadong Church. On one side, it connected to the chapel, and on the other to the tiniest of courtyards. Our kitchen was small and old-fashioned with a rough cement floor. I cooked for my husband in that kitchen, which was always smoke-filled with coal briquettes. From the first day I prepared his meal, I was quite at home in that kitchen, which was similar to many my little family had occupied. I was quite deft with the cutting knife, even though my hands were cold. When people saw me preparing the various dishes without much trouble, they were surprised. Until a few weeks prior, they had thought of me as only a teenage nursing student. The church was always crowded with members, and my husband and I seldom spent time by ourselves. In such a public setting, Father Moon and I would sit across from each other and talk about our plans for the world. Members would show concern and say to us, "Please, you really should eat now." We would look at the clock and often see it was 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we hadn't given a thought to lunch. I focused on the many tasks that would be entrusted to me in the future. I realized that not only Korea, but also the rest of the world was expecting me to extend my helping hand. Beginning with our first daughter, Yejin, I gave birth to children one after another. The church headquarters that served also as our home was a small and poorly insulated Japanese-style house, and I suffered postpartum ailments as a result of delivering babies there. I was young, but as women have done from time immemorial, I quietly endured the pain of childbirth. Within my heart, Heavenly Parent was present at every moment. No matter how difficult the situation and surroundings, I was filled with joy. Never for a moment did I lack the helping hand of God, working his miracles in the background. Within a few years, our small quarters were filled to bursting with our many children. Perhaps that is why they grew up loving and caring for one another. I considered them to be miniature expressions of God. I would kiss their cheeks and chat affectionately with them, and I prayed for them ceaselessly. I knew that God comes to dwell in the home where parents and children are harmonious. Even before our wedding, with God's providence at the forefront of my mind, I resolved to have 13 children. Today, people look at you askance if you have many children, but I saw that God wanted 12 to signify the perfection of East, West, North, and South. When you add one corresponding to the central position, you get 13, which opens the way for the continued development of the providence to its ultimate conclusion.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. True Mother said, no matter how difficult the situation and surroundings, I was filled with joy. True Mother was always grateful for the circumstances she was in. In your life of faith, if you are grateful, actually you can overcome any difficulties. That's why I repeat again and again and again the importance of the life of the appreciation. Don't take everything given to me for granted. And also don't say that everything is a coincidence. Think that everything from 1 to 10 has been prepared for me by Heavenly Parents. And do not expect someone to do something for me and don't make it a habit. Then there is always a feeling of gratitude. Those who don't have appreciation, always take it for granted. My wife cook for me, she should be done. My children need to study very well. That is their portion of responsibility. Someone give me, and then someone helping me, and then someone do something for me. Always we are take it for granted. This is a really big problem. And also that, everything is like, sometimes we feel, oh, this is a coincidence. Do not think that way. If we really, everything from 1 to 10 has been prepared for me by Heavenly God. He prepared everything. Just wake up early morning, He give me air. Wow, have water to wash my face. Walking, I have still 2 legs, no sick, I still can eat. Wow, everything given by God through our Heavenly Parents, Jeong-sung. So I am so grateful to God. So we need to have that kind of appreciation, like a true mother. True mothers are one of the really great. Her great faith is what? Always appreciate God's helping for her. True mother said, never for a moment did I lack the helping hand of God, working His miracles in the background. You can see that true mother's life of faith was true in the parent and child relationship. How God is her parents and she is only begotten daughter. I think she has that kind of a firm relationship with God, never changing. She has absolute faith. Heavenly God, you are my parents. For me, not just only child of God, I am God's only begotten daughter. She never forget even 1 second. She has that kind of firm faith, firm relationship between God and her own self. True mother also consider her children to be miniature expressions of God. My children is God. And then also she would kiss their cheeks and then chat affectionately with them, and she prayed for them. That's why I think I can see, when some parents are raising up their children very well, they are always using the skinship, artistic skinship. In my family, I am telling you, in Korean, according to Korean tradition, not easy to hug each other and then show the skinship between parent and child. But I learned from my father and mother, when my father, came back from outside, and then my wife, my mother is a hug my father. And then my mother often hugged me, even my father. I learned naturally, the skinship. Skinship is really, really important for me. But as a Korean guy, not easy to do that. But I learned naturally from my parents, and kissing, embracing, and hugging. I really feel very much a warm feeling. And then I came to America, become more natural to really hug each one of the brothers and sisters, not just only by duty or responsibility. I really want to hug each one of the American brothers and sisters. They are children of God. True mother also raised her children knowing that they were miniature expression of God. It means really mother treat each one of her own children, God's sons and daughters. If you do not think of your children as children of God, it will always become very much humanistic education and flow horizontally. That's why in order to invite God in our family, really we need to have the vertical connection. Vertical connection means what? I treat my father and mother, my parents as God. Then feel Holy Spirit. God is there. And same kind of the alignment attitude toward my spouse. I treat my spouse as God. And I treat my children as God's children. That's why whatever I see, whatever I treat with any people, with my own brothers and sisters, in the name of God, there is a vertical connection with anyone to give and take. I am telling you, there is a dignity, there is a holy environment, and then God always dwells within that kind of environment. That's why it's very important. So in order to raise up, raise up our children properly, we learn from mother's mother, Hong Demonim. Number one, you need to treat your children absolutely not just only by thinking and concept. You surely need to have a clear about the thinking and concept. You need to treat your children as God's children. Secondly, if they are children of God, they are prince and princess of God, you are in any position, then you need to use very much respectful language. Do not use the bad language. Always respectful language. Really, I really attend them like God's prince and princess. Always using respectful language and treat them as God's sons and daughters. We can learn from True Mother. We can learn from our Hong Demonim. If we do not treat our children as God's children, I am telling you, become very much horizontal. Just only humanistic about the relationship between physical father and mother. Then there is no God. Why did they, our children, and go their own direction? Nothing deal with the parents. Why have the far distance? Because we do not raise up them as God's sons and daughters, just only raise up them as my own child, my own blood. Become very much humanistic, become very much horizontal, and connect to more satanic environment. This is the problem. Family is the issue. In the family, we do not raise up properly as God's sons and daughters. I really repent myself and then reflect on myself. I didn't do much like that. I want to go back again from from earlier time when I just married my wife. I want to raise up again my children in such a way. Oh my God. Why should you do like that? This is because when parents and children become one, God can be present there. Parents regard their children as God, as children regard their parents as God comes in between their respect for each other. True Mother said, even before our wedding, with God's providence at the forefront of my mind, I resolved to have 13 children. Today, people look at you as kids. If you have many children, but I saw that God wanted to 12 to signify the perfection of East, West, and North and South. When you add one corresponding to the central position, you get 13. Mother always thinking, centering on God's will, everything providential. The reason to mother gave birth to many children was to complete the providence, not for own self. Even giving 10 children, 12, 13 children, for the sake of God's providence. She never think her own self. How many children will you have? How many children do you want to have? Don't make human plan. We need to receive what God gives us. We have to obey God's plan. You know, God cannot focus on my own plan. I need to focus on God's plan. I need to have two daughter or one boy. I only just want to have one boy, only just one girl. So nothing that way. We need to receive what God gives us. We need to focus on God's plan, not my own plan. That's why when you make the plan, how many children do I have? Everything humanistic. Everything my center point of view. That's the reason why God cannot intervene in my family. We need to reflect on that. Okay, Heavenly Honey, please read.
God's dispensation for the salvation of humankind is not something that happens in one generation. To carry it out, God has sought out and established central people throughout history. 2,000 years ago, how did God send Jesus, his only begotten Son, without original sin, to this earth through the people of Israel? The Bible records that God had to restore a pure lineage in several stages. There are unresolved issues connected to this lineage that I must set straight during my lifetime. And so I set to recover and rightly establish the lineage of goodness centered on heaven. In order to give rebirth and resurrection to this complicated lineage and thus transform it into the true lineage whose center is God, I willingly took the risks that come with pregnancy and childbirth, including managing the birthing pains that put a woman's life in God's hands. I gave birth to 14 children over a period of 20 years.
Wow. True mother just only giving birth to 14 children over a period of 20 years. She is not normal woman. She is not just a simple woman. Her entire life totally sacrificed for the sake of God's will and God's providence. My dear brothers and sisters, God's providence of restoration is ultimately the providence of lineage restoration. Look at the pure lineage of Jesus. What providence did God provide to restore the lineage? You see that Jesus, the blood lineage, to purify. Many people cannot understand. There are four the woman looks like outside the point of view, four like a chapter 2 woman. Make the relationship between, father-in-law and, daughter-in-law together, make a relationship. And that kind of the, ancestor blood lineage. Many people do not understand the restoration of God's providence is a restoration of the blood lineage. That's why if we think humanistic way, this is really uncomfortable. How come Jesus' blood lineage like this? How come Jesus' mother, Maria, go to Zacharias' home? Do you think Maria, without man, give birth to Jesus? This is against natural law. There is really cannot describe, not easy to describe about talking about lineage restoration. Even through parents' life course, we do not know. He's the Messiah. He need to go through that kind of way. We do not know. He knows only how to purify, God's lineage. That's why, without clear understanding, just only externally judge here and there, this is a really big problem. You look at the Jesus blood lineage. Giving birth to 13 children was the way to endure the pain, giving birth to a new life at risk of the life and death. Ultimately, the providence of restoration to change the lineage, unless there is a change from the blood of the slaves to that of the royal family of God, and unless there is a change from the heart of the servant to all of the heart of the heavenly parents, the providence of heaven's restoration will not end. That's why many things still we could not understand. How much our true father, true mother, gone through incredible suffering. Many people cannot understand in order to purify God's blood lineage. That's why can you imagine that? How much true father misunderstood? How much true father really got a persecution because of this and that? Wow, incredible. Today's father's word, word of heart is more important than spiritual openness. Can you read?
When you go to the spirit world, you will see even a young child is better than yourself. Even young children know everything. In the past, there was someone who did something through a young child, right? Therefore, when you can connect with the spirit world, you know everything, and it is all figurative. Just because you know, it doesn't make you that great. The spirit world has great diversity in figure and form. The more precious thing is the origin of freedom. In other words, the world of heart. If you cannot connect with the standard of heart, you have no freedom.
For me, today's father's word is incredibly important. Father said that when you go to spiritual world, even young children are better than you. Why? For young children, their parents are absolute. If we absolutely know God like children and know Him as our absolute protector, our spiritual level will be elevated. A young child is like a sunflower and follows their parents. We too must be like children and practice sunflower faith. Mother very much emphasizing the practicing the sunflower faith. Do you understand sunflower faith? Sunflower always following direction of the sunlight. That's what we call sunflower. Absolute alignment. When east, the winter sun, and then moving forward from east to west, And the sunflower exactly follow sunlight. That's why mother said we need to have the sunflower faith. We say 해바라기. Sunflower means 해바라기. Faith means 신앙. 해바라기 신앙. 해바라기 신앙. 해바라기 신앙. Wow. Absolute alignment. So why children is better than us? Because our children is very pure, absolutely follow, their own father and mother. Absolute. They think my father and mother, they are absolute protector. If we have that kind of the children, that kind of the faith like children, like our faith like a sunflower, our spiritual level will be elevated. When people get older, the things that hinder, disturb them are knowledge, money, wealth, honor, power, and then self-obsession. This is the really problems. True Father says, spiritually, do not envy any spirit and ancestors for communicating. Anyone with interest and devotion can know the spiritual world and communicate with ancestors and spirit. Do not be envious of knowing the superficial spiritual realm, especially Japan. There are many kinds of spiritual guru. Of course, in Korea, somewhere, spiritual guru. And then someone becomes spiritually mediator, communicating with the spiritual world. They say this is a Hungjinim spirit, this is the Hyojinim spirit, this is a Demonim spirit, this and that all. And then, our brothers and sisters do not know much of the spiritual world. And then anyone spiritually open and then someone connect to spiritual world and communicating, we just bow down to them and respect them. And then they say something and absolutely obey because we have the spiritual ignorance. Father say, there is nothing. Spiritual openness is nothing. Do not envy and spirits and ancestors for communicating. If we put more 정성 and then more prayer and dedication, anyone can have this kind of experience. That's why don't be envious of knowing superficial spiritual realm. Father said the most important thing in spiritual world is the heart. Kingdom of heaven is the war of the heart. In the relationship of the parents and child, husband and wife, and siblings, and the most important things are not money and wealth and fame and or diamond or spiritual openness. That is nothing. That is really, does not make any sense. We need to know that spiritual war, the war of the heart. Heart is more important than anything else. That's why I don't like, spiritual phenomenon and create another spiritual group, this group, and then people are just only gathering there. And at the end and finally, and deny father and mother and deny even divine principle. Wow. This is really terrible. They only small part, they know only small part of the spiritual world. That's why no need to be envious at all. They are nothing. What standard do parents use to judge their children? Money, status, knowledge. It is the heart of the giving back to parents as children. That is filial piety. In the spiritual world, your heart becomes the capability. And your love becomes the capability, not by money, not by status, not by knowledge, not by your position, nothing. Your heart becomes the capability. Your love becomes the capability. Your heart becomes a capability. We need to know this point. Wow. It is a really amazing guidance. Oh, someone have the insight, can see for far future, and then, create many miracles. He has a power. He has a healing power. Whenever he pray for someone, he can be cured. This is really external. Bringing miracle, external. Healing someone's about the sickness, this is external. Important thing is what? Heart. Heart. In spiritual world, your filial piety becomes your capability. Knowledge and skills are not important. Your filial piety becomes your capability. Your heart is the most important than anything. Your heart more important than miracle. Your heart more important than healing any kind of sickness. Really, really amazing guidance by True Father. All spiritual problems can be solved by establishing a relationship of the heart of the parent and child. Father say, if you experience God's heart, you can solve all your problems and the fortune of the wealth will follow automatically. In the spiritual world, knowing that God is my Father and that I am the God's child brings forth unimaginable power. How True Father overcome all kind of the torturing difficulties and problems in the prison? Because he has a firm faith. No matter what, God is my Father. I am child of God. As long as that kind of the firm faith, Satan cannot invade anymore. Therefore, we must know God through know God through the word and know our value. Only then I can be free. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Yeah, we learn from the Bible. When you commit sin, you have no freedom. So do not commit sin. Do not complain. If I complain, I become a slave to sin and a slave to Satan. Children are free within their parents' hearts, and parents are free within their children's Hyojong filial piety. The truth will set you free. But most important thing is what? Heavenly Parents' heart will set you free. The heart of the parents and child relationship will set you free forever. At the formation stage, you must know the truth to experience freedom. At the growth stage, you must have a mind and body unity to feel freedom. At the completion stage, you need to know the heart of God to gain freedom, eternal freedom. We must know the essence of the spiritual world. The essence of the spiritual world is the origin of freedom. When is the spiritual world is free? It is most natural when I am the word of the heart. When I enter the realm of the heart, then everything is free. That's why our final goal is what? How can I become artistic person? How can I understand God's sorrowful heart? When I truly understand God's heart, and then I can definitely find true freedom. Okay, please read.
Problem of heart is the greatest problem. It is the same between friends. If you go to the house of a friend that you greet only occasionally, will you feel free? You won't feel free. Even amongst friends, you definitely need a bond of heart to feel free in entering his sphere of life. And when each of you can enter each other's sphere of life, do you feel free? To have this kind of connection, you need to be close in heart. Once that happens, all external problems will be resolved. Therefore, the greatest problem is the problem of heart.
Wow. Are you happy? You have that kind of the really incredible true parents guidance. Is there freedom in your friendship? Is there freedom in your marriage? Is there freedom in the relationship between parents and child? Is there freedom in siblings relationships? Is there freedom in the Cain and Abel relationships? The reason you feel free when you look at each other is because there is a bond between them. Because of you have a artistic relationship, where there is a artistic relationship, inseparable relationship, and close each other, then you can feel freedom. The biggest problem is the heart problem for the self. Everything else is, subordinate. Nothing actually. The biggest problem is the heart problem. Emotional and artistic bond is a relationship that is natural if it is close in a human relationship. To establish a relationship, you have to be close in heart. The life of faith is to build artistic relationship. Faith is creating an inseparable relationship of heart. That is the purpose of the faith. How to create that kind of artistic relationship between parents and child, between husband and wife, between siblings, between Cain and Abel. Wherever I go, how can I feel freedom? Only one way, when you have a artistic relationship. If you are emotionally uncomfortable, you have no freedom. Do you feel free in God? Do you feel free within your parents? Do you feel free in your marriage? To feel free, you have to be close emotionally, artistically. To be close emotionally, artistically, you have to think a lot. How can I become like that? Centering on God's point of view. And also you need to have a concern each other, care each other. And then finally, give to others. Already try to serve, try to giving for the sake of others. Through this kind of way, we can build artistic relationship. Problem of heart is the greatest problem. Why Adam and Eve fell? Because there is a artistic distance between heavenly parents and Adam and Eve. They have artistic distance. Fall come from artistic distance. Why children go their own way? Because there is a artistic distance between parents and child. Why divorce and separate from each other? Because there is a artistic distance between husband and wife. What is the purpose of life of faith? To build up artistic relationship. And finally connect to God's heart. And then make inseparable, unshakable relationship between God and myself. That's why, my brothers and sisters, the problem heart is the greatest problem. Thank you very much, because today I don't have time to share youth ministry. Let's finish here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yong. Please let us offer some virtual claps for Dr. Yong this morning. Thank you so much for this content. I really feel that for today, we can all learn that treating others as God treats them is the key, and also the heart is the problem to everything that's happening in this world. And once we really connect with God and really become heartistic individuals, we can really change this world and become closer to our brothers and sisters. So with that, as we go into our breakout rooms, please open up to your brothers and sisters. If you're at home, please feel free to reflect on this topic, and we'll see you back in a few minutes. welcome back, everyone. Thank you for sharing your reflections for today with this content. Such like, man, so much heart into this. So for our first sharing, I'd like to invite Mrs. Kiyoe Parker. I really, sorry if I pronounced your name, the first name wrong.
Okay, thank you. So Diane shared with us, she's a very artistic person, and she connected the person's heart. If not. That kind of hit me. Wow, she's a really, really, real person. And even she said that even like a non-church member or first generation, but you connect to the heart. She have a really great relationship with it. I guess the value of the person that I heard that she said. That was kind of a big atomic bomb for me too. So that's great, because I live with my daughter's family, and husband is not second generation, and he's a Korean, and I was struggling with different culture, and sometimes I couldn't talk, and he think I'm belong in a cult, so he doesn't want to deal with any of our church things. So I had to show my, my daily life as a doctor says, serving. Don't need to say anything about church thing, just serving. But today, Dr. said, artistic relations make everything. So thank you so much. I try to do with my son-in-law. It's more like pouring my heart. It's through my action. Yes, so
I see.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you so much, Kiyoe-san. When you write down there's something, when you are retired tomorrow is always Saturday.
That is nice. When teacher gave me ask, I don't have any place to put. I just But for me, every day is a Monday.
Yeah, right. Happy Monday, not Blue Monday. Thank you so much. 감사합니다.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kiyoe-san, for sharing that. And yeah, anyways, the heart is really what matters. I think that's our goal as individuals. So for our next sharing, I'd like to invite actually the Tadden family, if you could share your reflection for us this morning. Please unmute yourselves. Tadden family.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please, you start.
Surprise.
Wow, 타딘 family, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
Where's your beautiful granddaughter?
She's puppy sitting. She's just on the side, making sure that the puppy doesn't go crazy.
I see. Okay, please share.
Please, go ahead.
Yeah, I really like the you share about the heart, and I really believe God works through our heart, and it's important to open our heart always. And I really remind me to want to serve the world, serve the family wholeheartedly. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much. And then, okay, father-in-law.
So, this is my mom. She's 93.
Whoa!
She wants to get up and join morning devotion.
Oh!
Her English is limited, but she wanted to make the effort. So she's
the same as my mother's age. Thank you. Wow, seeing you like seeing my mother. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow. How old are the? What's your name, please? Your name.
Thank you. Vimatadin.
Vimatadin. Thank you. Wow. Okay. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm very grateful that we have 4 generations in this home. You've seen this, and so we have some duties taking place, but everyone tries to participate. And my primary motivation in participation is to help revive America. And so I think that we're making that very sincere effort here. We want to thank you, Dr. Yong, for making that effort. And the insight you shared yesterday, I think, needs a little more qualification when you said, not of the people, by the people, for the people, but, of God, by God, for God. I think maybe we could reconcile that difference by saying people of original nature, for people of original nature, and exclude fallen nature. I think that way makes sense, because coming from a communist country, with the government being in a position of God, very scary reality. I just wanted to give that comment, and I think that's a fair reconciliation, so that the American Constitution works, provided that the people have a high moral standard of altruism. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tad and family. Thank you, great grandma, for joining morning devotion this morning. Man, this is crazy. Morning devotion this is the power of morning devotion. I'm telling you, it's really amazing. And so, I mean, this just goes to say, please attend every morning if you could, even if it's hard to wake up in the morning, but it's such a great opportunity to meet different people and really connect artistically. And also just invite someone from your Trinity. You can have a prayer condition or some kind of condition to joining morning devotion every day, as Dr. Yong always joins every morning. And as always, we also have in the chat, we have Tal putting the link to the donation. Please give anything that you can from your heart. We also have it on Facebook, so feel free to give anything. So for our music offering today, we actually have a video. And the video was made, but there is a singer behind the video, which is on Donette Conan. And the introduction that she said was that 2,000 years ago, there was a man and his name was Paul. And then so many people mocked Paul and they say that there was no God. But then Paul, this song is an answer from Paul to the people who said that God was not real or that God didn't exist. So I hope we can enjoy this video and enjoy her voice behind the scenes. Thank you.
Than you and I.
Wow, such an amazing voice. Wow, that's incredible. Wow.
Beautiful song. Thank you.
Thank you, Aunt Donette. I heard that she's at work at this time. That's why she recorded this because she cannot be live. So if you're watching this after, thank you so much for offering this song for us. Thank you. Thank you. And for our closing prayer today, I'd like to invite Mrs. Mercy to offer a closing prayer for us. Sorry. Thank you. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, let us pray. Most beloved Heavenly Parents, Parent of heaven and earth and humankind, we thank you so much, Heavenly Parent. We thank you for the time that we are living in the golden age, Heavenly Parent. Many saints and sages have come and gone. And today, because of our true parents, Heavenly Parent, we are here not only to serve you, but to know you, to love you, Father, to understand you, and to be able to understand our true parents and to love them because our true parents have brought us all to the light. Heavenly Parent, we can only look back to learn from the past. And Heavenly Parent, to move on to the future with the heart that our true parents have shown us and the love, Heavenly Parent, for all mankind, to embrace each and every one of us. So Heavenly Parent, today we have Dr. Yong, who is guiding us with morning devotion, Heavenly Parent. Never before, but because of our true parents' love and because of our true mother love also, Heavenly Parent, that we can be where we are today. So we thank you for our brothers and sisters. We thank you for everything. As we come to the closing of this new day, please let us go forward in loving more and more people and embracing people and thanking you, Heavenly Parent, for Dr. Yong for guiding us. We thank you. We want to offer this more prayer and all things and all with all my brothers and sisters. Through Mercy and Edmund Charlie, blessing to family. Adieu.
Adieu. Thank you, Mercy. 감사합니다. Thank you.
Thank you, Aunt Mercy. Sorry, it was sudden, but thank you for that beautiful prayer. And as we go on our day today, please let us really practice this artistic topic that we talked about today. And remember that Dr. Yong is embracing America and true parents always embrace us. So please let us embrace our family and our brothers and sisters. So with that, thank you again for joining and we'll see you.
감사합니다. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
My dear brothers and sisters. 감사합니다.